You're listening to Thunderheads, a podcast for Thunder fans by Thunder fans.
Welcome to Thunderheads. I'm Brandon Soul, joined by the dark and stormy Jason Lewis.
Yes, sir.
Two-man game today. We got drinks in hand.
Indeed.
We watched the Thunder get a win first time.
Celebrating that win.
Celebrating the win after a 3-game losing streak. It was it was like, I want to say it was an ugly win.
It was for a bit.
But it felt good. You know what I mean? Like the Thunder really needed it, so I can't really tag it. We'll get into it. Today we're going to touch on the Charlotte game, as I just said. The Thunder's week as a whole. We're going to hand out some mid-season player grades, and we're going to present a bunch of trade ideas for the Thunder, some from you guys on Twitter and some from us. But first, your disaster of the week. Oh yeah, I gotta give a shout out because someone tipped us off on this. Thanks for the tip from listener Ryan Winkle at RyanWinkle7 on Twitter. He sent us this, which you guys are welcome to do if you get a disaster of the week that's perfect for us. Send it our way. If it's good enough, we'll read it right here on the pod. This one just happened to be good enough. Here we go. A man reportedly using a torch lighter to try to kill a huge spider may have ended up starting a fire that damaged his apartment and forced the residents to move out.
Oh, that took a real strong turn.
Yeah, move out. Not just like...
They can't come back ever.
Not single file line, go outside for 15 minutes.
Like the fire alarm's going off, please escort out. Like,
Right.
You need to move all your shit.
You gone. You gone. Hope you had renter's insurance. The fire in Redding, California started Sunday when the flaming spider scurried on top of a mattress.
Ooh.
Just
He was
on
in bed?
fire.
Oh.
No, I don't know if he was in bed, but the spider was.
Wait, the on fire spider?
The on fire spider, yeah. So it scurried onto the mattress.
Oh, God.
And then the mattress quickly caught fire and sent flames to nearby drapes and a flag collection, which who collects flags?
Also strange.
A witness told the Redding Record Searchlight. The witness, caregiver Lindsay Weisgarver, these are made up, told
That's not a real person.
told the paper the man
There's
was
no way.
attempting to kill a huge wolf spider with the torch lighter, a larger kind of cigarette light that emits a pressurized blue flame. You guys probably
Seen
know them.
those? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, aren't they like more accurately called like a cigar lighter? Don't
I think
people
so,
like that?
yeah.
For reference, that's
You don't have to
in the
deal with
article.
them because they just light stuff automatically.
Right,
You
they're
don't have to worry about it.
real hot. Weisgarver did not immediately respond to a request for comment, but Redding Fire Marshal Craig Whitner told BuzzFeed News that the spider attack is what tenants said they were doing. And it was such an interesting comment that it grew legs and spread like wildfire, he said, adding that the fire department's investigation remains ongoing. No one was injured, and firefighters were able to quickly extinguish the second-story blaze, which reportedly caused $11,000 in damage.
Oh.
And forced... That's not that much, though, right?
But for a spider.
Yeah, for a spider.
Like a
It's
spider
an expensive
typically
spider.
is like a cheap, you stomp on them and
Yeah.
that's the end of it.
If any... Yeah, it's like a...
But when you use a torch lighter and it gets on your very flammable mattress, which I don't know if you guys know this, but mattresses do catch on fire. So,
Well, this guy knows it now.
yeah.
I mean...
It's a lesson for everyone.
It forced the occupants to temporarily find other housing, so I guess they didn't have to permanently move out, just temporarily. It's unclear if the spider survived. I'm going to go ahead and say...
Go no.
Yeah. Look,
Go
that is
no.
Spider-Man, if it survived.
That's the most frightening creature on earth if he lived through that.
Yeah, no joke. And wolf spiders, like, if you don't know what a wolf spider is, here in Oklahoma, we get them all the time. They're big, like... they can get about like that. If you're watching on YouTube Live, you can see the circle I'm making in my hand like a jackass. And they will freak you out a little bit, but they're like, once you see them all the time, they're not that scary, right? I don't even know
maybe
if they
for
bite.
you. I'm very afraid of them.
Are you frightened of spiders?
I really don't like them. So I don't blame the guy at all for torching it. Although it seems like you'd have to get really close.
Is that what you
I
would
would
do?
have used a flamethrower situation with the hairspray in the lighter.
That happened.
I would stay far back.
I think that's referenced in this article here.
Oh, so he did do that.
No, he didn't. But,
Oh,
it
but it has before.
That has happened before, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the route to take. If you're going to set something on fire, use the flamethrower torch.
I don't know.
Not just up close.
I'm not, like, I used to be scared of spiders, but now I take a humane approach to it, which is...
Wait, you just
I'm
let
not
'em
trying to,
out?
like, brag here, but...
You just let them out?
Yeah, like I'll catch them in a cup and I
I'm
just...
not-
But like, okay, but here's what I do. I open the door and I launch that thing like 30 feet.
You throw it right into a predator's nest of
Yeah,
some
who
sort?
knows if it survives the launch that I give it.
Well,
Maybe it's a fun
due to
ride.
their body mass, I think they'll survive, though. That's getting too technical.
Do you think... Well, hold on. No, that's... Really?
Yeah. That's like when you slap a fly out of the air. Like it doesn't
Right.
just die. Like it's just fine.
Should though
Because of the.
be better.
I don't know science well enough. If
Well,
Justin was here,
I know
he'd
what
tell
you're-
you all about it.
I know what you're saying though. We have no rundown today. We're gonna get into it, but we have no rundown because we have no Rob, and he's our rundown man. So you guys know the Thunder lost to the Blazers. They lost to the Timberwolves back-to-back
Stupid.
nights. Bad losses. Things were starting to look down. Thunder go to Charlotte, get themselves a win, a much-needed win against a Charlotte team that just hasn't been very good this season. I think Charlotte is now 16-25. They're 11-12 at home. So this was a must-win for the Thunder. They had to have
Especially
it.
with losing to the Hornets earlier in the season and a bad loss.
Bad
Ugh.
you're right, in a really bad way. And you had 2 days off going into this game. You get to come home after this. A good opportunity to get momentum, which we're going to talk about it later in the podcast because coming up on who are the coming up games on? They got Lakers on Wednesday.
And then
Monday.
so they got the Kings on Monday,
Kings on Monday.
Lakers Wednesday, and Cleveland on Saturday.
Right. So a good opportunity to run 3 in a row here before you have to go to Cleveland, right?
And probably lose.
Well, maybe get a little bit of momentum. Big part of this game, Steven Adams, man, coming out of the gates, he's kind of established a tone. He ended up with 14 points, 11 rebounds, 7 for 11 from the field, 4 blocks, 5 fouls. But a lot of that was, the whistles were kind of going against the Thunder in this one. 22 fouls for the Thunder against 15 for the Hornets.
And really, the refs on both sides were kind of they had some really dumb calls, like where people were completely vertical, and it's like he's not even touching the guy.
Yeah, and it's hard because when you're watching the Thunder broadcast too, if a foul is called on the Thunder, they won't show a replay.
Yeah.
A lot of times, and you're like, well, I'd like to see a replay to know if that call was legitimate or if it was just
Preposterous.
or preposterous. Nice, but it was an ugly game. 40.2% from the field were the Thunder, 39.8% were the Hornets. One thing. Carmelo Anthony. I don't want to start off negative, but I'm going
But you're
to.
gonna.
Yeah, Carmelo Anthony, 3 for 14 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3, had 7 points on 14 shots. 10,
Is that good?
10 rebounds, 1 assist.
He was getting
Struggling
those
right now.
boards. He
He's
was getting
struggling
boards.
right now. So a big deal or a big thing kind of over the past couple of weeks was him buying into the role that was necessary for him to have on this team, right?
Mhm.
How do you feel about that right now? Is this a case that it's not that he's not buying into it anymore? Because he's not. It's not.
It's not that he's not buying in
Because
necessarily.
he's not forcing up those shots that we've seen him force up in the
Yeah.
past, at least to the
Like at the
extent.
first of the year, it was like, oh, don't do those
Right.
things. And then he's corrected a lot of that. It's just right now it's almost like, yeah, he took some dumb shots today. He took some really dumb ones. But for the most part, it's just his shot's not falling. And whenever his shot's not falling, I think you've said this before, like if Melo isn't hitting his shots, like what's he doing for you? And today
Right.
he did get 10 rebounds. And so that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's really nice also when his shot's falling. It's very helpful.
To me, it's the key to this team. I
Right.
mean, and I don't know what the ceiling of this team is. We talked about it a lot last pod. Like, what is the ceiling on this team? Do they actually have the ability to get as far as we thought before the season that they
Right.
could get? Do they have that ability? I don't know. But the key to me is how well Carmelo Anthony performs, how well he fits in.
Mm-hmm.
If he knocks down shots, man, if Carmelo Anthony instead of 3 of 14 goes 9 of 14 and goes 3 for 5 from 3, which obviously you can't.
We're in a much better position.
Right, you can't expect him to average that. But
Yeah.
if he has a game like that, that's a Thunder win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Most
Like,
time.
he's almost that X factor on this team.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I don't know. It kind of worries me a little bit with him because I don't know if it's a case of him kind of slowly not starting to buy into what he was trying to buy in for a couple games. If he's just in a funk.
So do you think so there's a possibility that he's in a funk, he's not buying in, or he's just old now.
That's
It's not
another
as
one.
good.
Or number 4, D, everything that all of his stereotypes about Carmelo Anthony are correct.
Everything people have said. his
Everything
whole
that
career,
people have been saying the past couple years, at least, for sure,
especially his, yeah.
are correct. And
So which one do you think it is? If you had to say one. It's hard. It's a hard thing to say.
I would lean either funk, he's in a funk, or I would lean, and he's still like just trying to fit in.
Right.
It's either that or everything everyone said about him the past couple years is true.
I think you're right. I definitely lean. I would pick he's in a funk, and I remember hearing on one of the broadcasts where they were talking about how Billy was saying that this transition for everyone on this team has been the most difficult for Carmelo, because it is the most different situation for anyone on the team. Like, PG still gets to do what he's done his whole career, pretty much.
Yeah,
Russ
Carmelo
is
has to
still
be a
doing
different
him.
player.
And now they're like, hey, you don't do the things that you've done all
Right.
the time. So he's the one person that it's changed for.
That's true. That's a really good point, because I mean it's vastly different than
Yeah.
a game that he's ever played before.
Yeah, I've never
the NBA.
seen him be this person.
No, so he has to. I mean, we're gonna get into it later in our midseason report cards, but he's shooting more threes than he ever has before. He's not getting to the line, really hardly ever.
at all.
He's not shooting that great from the line yet. This is a weird game. This Hornets game. You know, the Thunder win by 10, and a lot of that, which we have to give credit, is the bench.
Woo, man.
Because if you look at the numbers, like I said, Melo 3 for 14 for 7 points. Paul George 6 for 14 for 17 points. Russell Westbrook 10 for 27. 25 points on 27 shots for Russ. So not a good game for Russ shooting the ball. So you look at that game, say that's a loss, and this is one of those classic games where you're like, why is Russ taking 27 shots and those other two guys are only shooting 14 times each?
Right.
But the Thunder win, and so those conversations
questions kinda go away.
slide by.
Right.
This win, almost entirely you have to credit to the bench.
Yeah.
And Raymond Felton comes in. You know, he only had 8 points on 10 shots. This is like a theme for the Thunder, inefficiency. But, you know, he made plays. 5 assists. He played hard. He got into the lane. Then you have other guys. Patrick Patterson, 1 for 6 from the field, who's just been dreadful. But he had 6 points. You know, he did knock down the 3. He got to the line a couple times. 5 rebounds. Hustis hit a 3. Grant with 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 for 3 from the field for Grant. Abrinas hit a couple threes.
Right.
9 points, 3 for 7 from the field.
So that run, was that at the end of the third or the beginning of the fourth?
Beginning of the fourth, I
Yeah,
believe.
okay. So, yeah, the bench came in. It was an all-bench lineup. We were kind of like, ooh, I don't know if this is the time for this. And then all of a sudden, they kind of hit their stride, and Raymond was hitting people for open threes, and they actually went in for once, which was nice to see.
Right.
It was really nice to see that unit kind of push, because you actually mentioned during the game, you were like, this is kind of where these games have been, like in November, where we had talked about, where it's like you have all these chances to pull away from these bad teams, but we don't do it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, the bench was the X factor in pushing us over that limit, like where it's like, oh, you actually got to pull away now.
That's a good point, because first half, Thunder allowed 59 points from the Hornets. Hornets, they're not a good offensive team. I don't know if they're one of the worst. I don't have the stats right in front of me, but they're not a good offensive team.
Very good.
Second half, Thunder allowed 32 points. That's a 27-point difference. And in the third quarter, Thunder only scored 18 points. So it's an 18-17 third quarter.
Right.
And that's
that
exactly what we're
third
talking
quarter was
about.
so stagnant for both teams. It
Yeah,
was very weird.
But you're right. And the way I brought it up, like, so it's like you're stopping them. Now's your chance. You put a couple offensive possessions together, you can create some separation. Thunder weren't doing that till the bench comes in. And I was quick to criticize the all-bench lineup, and I did it on Twitter, and I left myself out there, and I got burned because the all-bench lineup, they won the game for the Thunder.
They did.
And I was not expecting that, but you have to give credit where credit's due. And maybe that's exactly what Billy Donovan's thinking. He's saying, I'm going to continue rolling these guys out there and try to let them build a rhythm, just as I'm going to keep rolling Carmelo Anthony out there exclusively with Russell Westbrook and Paul George, at least for the most part,
At least
and try to let him figure out his role with those guys and try to let him get comfortable in that situation.
Because the only way he's going to do it is to be there.
Repetition.
That's the only way that works.
Yeah, I mean, he's not just going to magically get good at it.
Yeah.
I mean, and the same goes for the bench. They're not just going to magically be able to work together. So maybe that's Billy Donovan's thinking, and we tend to overlook that a little bit. But you have to give him credit, especially Raymond Felton. And I think it's huge to see Jeremy Grant have himself a good game for the first time in a while.
Well, and he hit a 3 finally, and like it is really nice to see, because he was doing very well at the beginning of the season, and then that kind of declined, especially the past couple weeks. It's been really rough.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just nice to see him get a couple buckets in.
Alex Abrinas a game high plus 13.
Weird.
I know. It was weird because like his defense first half especially was not great. He got called for that idiotic foul, which he just has won a game.
He's good at those.
Yeah, and you know, it was one of those that he looked like he was straight up, but we weren't really sure. It was like, was that a foul? He looked like he was straight up, but whatever. Second half, he comes in. I mean, he scored 9 points. That's what this team needs out of him.
Yeah. No, he like filled his role pretty well tonight.
And I don't want to get into it too quick because we're going to get into it. So what do you say? You want to jump right into this midseason report card?
Let's do it.
And we're gonna break down each and every player, at least rotational player to a certain extent, players that play, and we're gonna talk a little bit about them and maybe how much they're gonna get traded, or how likely they are to get traded, and their grade for the season. So let's do it.
Alex Abrinas.
Oh, starting off alphabetical order.
Yeah, maybe if I didn't fuck it up.
So what's first?
Player grade.
So what do you give him for the season so far?
Player grade for Alex Abrinas. I'm going C.
Okay.
I expected more out of him. His numbers are strikingly similar to what they were last year. This is before the Charlotte game when I looked at him, but I'm sure they didn't change too much. He's averaging right around the same minutes per game, but he's averaging 1.3 less shot attempts per game and 1 3-point shot attempt less per game.
Well, and that's something we've kind of talked about a little bit. Do you think that's his fault for not getting to the open areas of the floor, or is it kind of not one of those blame things where it's more like he's just not getting them?
It's got to be both. I mean, sometimes when I see him out there with this team, he looks like his confidence is shot right now in a way. Even though he knocked down a couple shots tonight, it looks like he's just not all there. Like he's
Looks a little diseased,
a little
pasty.
Yeah, well, that's just his
he
skin.
always looks pasty.
Yeah,
but,
that's his
but
skin.
his face today looked a little sickly. I don't know. Maybe he's got a cold.
I think that's just the way he looks, man.
That's just his face.
That's just the way. But yeah. I mean, to me, and one question I want to ask you: are they at a point they just need to ride or die with him? Like, play him.
Yeah, you either play him or get him out of here, right?
Yeah.
Like
So you think so?
I think so. For my grade for him, I think I'm going to go a little worse than a C-, just because I did really have lofty expectations for him, and it seemed like, we have this powerful starting unit, and to me, he was supposed to be the guy on the bench that was getting us bucket. Like he's going to be the guy to kind of lead the bench in scoring, and he's definitely not been anywhere near that. So it's been kind of disappointing. It's mostly expectations
Right.
that I had that were maybe just
unfair,
built in my head,
and unfair.
Yeah,
probably.
they probably were. They
I think
probably weren't.
I think
accurate.
probably the majority of the Thunder fan base would have said that the expectations for Alex Abrinas heading into the season were unfair.
Yeah,
Like looking back at it now in hindsight.
yeah, for sure. So, I would give him a C-. I think he's seemed like the last couple games he's started to maybe be able to find a shot a little bit better.
Step in the right direction, because I think that, we're going to get to Ferguson, but I think that with as much as Ferguson has been playing, you're seeing that he is a rookie. His defense is better than Abrinas, but
also sometimes not.
you don't trust his shot like you're going to trust Abrinas' shot.
Right.
Confidence meter.
So, your confidence in him moving forward.
So this is let's go 1 to 10 scale on these.
Okay.
I'm going to go a 4.
It's a good number.
I want to believe. It's like X-Files. I want to believe, but I don't know,
But is
man.
the evidence there to back up that belief?
There's definitely no evidence to back up the belief, but he's a guy that needs shots to be created for him.
Right.
Now, it's on him. It's on him to set himself up for to be successful to a certain extent.
Yeah, I mean, so I feel like he needs.
By the way, I just realized I was playing our own podcast through my laptop.
That's what was happening?
Yes.
But, I mean, he does need action to move off of to get open. But he also has to hustle to get open. That's something we've talked about a little bit with Ferguson. Like, he seems to get more shots when he's in the game than Abrinas does.
Right, which is
because
strange.
he hustles, I feel like.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit more hustle in him, and he kind of fights to get open.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't necessarily see that from Abrinas. So my confidence is probably about at a 3.
And maybe that's an athleticism issue
It might be.
for Abrinas.
Yeah.
But he's got to overcome that. I mean, you're in the NBA, dude. You're making $6 million a year.
You are an athlete,
Yeah.
so be more athletic.
Exactly.
Likeliness to be traded.
1 to 10 scale again. Let's do this.
So if the Thunder make trades,
Right.
likeliness that they're going to be included.
Well, no. Let's just say how likely is he to be traded this year?
Okay.
Let's say that.
All right.
And I'm going to go a 6 on a scale of 1 to 10. I definitely think he's one of the guys that is being dangled out there because he has a bit of a trade-friendly contract. It's not just on his last year. He has another year left on
Right.
it. And it's a little under $6 million a year. So I think that he's a guy that the Thunder will be looking to move at the
I'm gonna go with
deadline.
7.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
1 notch above you, and I was 1 notch below you on the confidence. Weird.
We're on the same page for
Yeah.
the most part.
I'm not riding the Abrinas train anymore.
Oh, you should. He's coming back, man. He's coming back.
I suddenly changed your outlook on it.
Next.
Steven Adams. Player grade.
You go.
So I'm gonna give Steven Adams for the season as a whole. I'm gonna give him an A because he's been incredible.
I'm right there
this
with you.
entire
With an A.
season.
With an A.
He's been so good, and the last week or 2 weeks has been kind of in a weird funk where he hasn't been able to like actually grab passes.
Really his
and-
first slump of the season.
Yeah,
And his slump it's funny because you could probably look at box scores and you wouldn't notice the slump.
Yeah, for the most part.
But it's when as a Thunder fan, when you watch the games, you know when he's slumping.
And today on the thing, the broadcast, they showed that it was his first double-double since Christmas.
Right, yep.
So, like, kind of since Christmas, he's been, I feel like he has been
Mm-hmm.
since that time. He's kind of not been the player that we've seen all season.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's got anything
It's the
to
holiday
do with-
meals slowing him
it's-
down.
He gained a little weight.
Yeah, could
ate
be.
about 7 meals instead of his usual 6.
He was really good today against the Hornets, but I'm with you. It's an A. He's been I think it's without a doubt. He's been the most consistent Thunder player this season.
Yeah.
He's almost the kind of he's just the staple of this Thunder team. Like, you know what you're going to get from Steven Adams day in and
pretty
day
much
out.
every night. Like,
Yeah. And so it is weird. Like and what makes it hard is the Thunder need him so bad. They need him to perform so well
really do.
night in and night out, which is a scary thing, but it's true. They
Yeah,
need that.
because whenever you see him not doing those things, it's like, oh no,
Yeah.
this is not good.
Uh-oh. Like when he's losing his matchup is scary.
Yeah,
Which, Steven
Absolutely.
Adams rarely loses his matchup. Check this out. Here's some Steven Adams stat differences from last year. So this year compared to last year, he's averaging 2.3 minutes per game higher, which is a career high in minutes this year. He's averaging 0.8 field goal attempts more this year, which is a career high in field goal attempts. He's averaging 6.3% field goal percentage higher than last year. 6.3%, which is a career high in field goal percentage. He's averaging 4.4% free throw percentage higher, career high. 1.4 offensive rebounds per game higher,
damn.
career high. 0.9 total rebounds a game higher, career high. Plus 0.1 steals per game, career high. And plus 2.1 points per game over last year, which is a career high. Career highs across the board for this guy.
And also those steals, I think have been huge. Like his hands this
Got
year,
great hands, man.
Man, they've been good.
And I think a lot of people would respond to that and say, well, yeah, he's got more space to work with. Yes, that's true.
Right,
But at
which
the
is
same
something we
time,
talked about
there's also a lot more talent on this team. There's a lot more points to be taken away from you
Right.
on this team, and yet he's getting more.
Yeah, like he.
So it goes both ways. You'd think it'd even out a little bit, but his the biggest number there, 6.3% better field goal percentage this year than last year. That's huge.
huge deal.
Huge.
All right,
Confidence meter.
9.
I'm gonna go 10.
10.
I'm locked in on the old Adams. The dude's good.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got to have
Yes.
confidence. This team, I mean, you see it. Russell Westbrook, the leader of this team, has so much confidence in Adams.
Right. Yeah, and one thing I brought up during the game, Paul George tried to hit him with a pass at one point, and that's something I feel like the last month or so we haven't really been seeing, and that's kind of strange to me because they were like earlier this season, they like when everything was kind of starting to click, it seemed like those two started to develop a little bit of a chemistry, and now it's like, where's that gone?
And
You know?
maybe that's actually a hidden worry beneath the Russ kind of taking the offensive load again thing,
Yeah.
right? Because maybe if Russ is starting to take more shots, he's starting to handle the ball more, so the ball's being taken out of Paul George's hands more. Russ
Well-
is that type of guy that, I mean, maybe that just continues to slowly pile up, and the discrepancy between the two gets more and more and more.
Right.
So you kind of have to check yourself every once in a while and be
Yeah.
like,
Well, and also I guess Adams hasn't been playing with the bench PG lineup as much, and that was
That's
kind of
true.
where we were seeing that too.
that's true. I would like to see that, though. I mean, I would like to see Paul George handle the ball a little bit more. Not that that would necessarily be good for the Thunder, and maybe that's why, because Billy Donovan's like, look, I
Every
only
time you handle it, you throw it to the other people.
I only trust Russell Westbrook handling the ball. But, there's 2 games the Thunder are playing right now. One is to try to win games, and the other is to try to keep Paul George.
That's true. Do we even need to do this one?
Yeah, we do.
Likeliness to be traded.
You got some.
I got
I'm
a little
going
bit.
0.
0? It's not
0%
0, man.
chance.
I say 2.
A 2?
And here's why. The Thunder traded Victor Oladipo is on a 4-year, $20 million contract.
Okay.
These contracts are tradable in today's NBA. You want that length of the contract more than trying to sign a free
The
agent.
expiring deal thing is not as lucrative as it was.
Right, because no one has cap room.
Right.
So you'd rather your cap's already filled, so you'd rather just trade for that cap.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying the Thunder want to trade Steven Adams. It would be a case where they're getting a for sure superstar in return, and he would have to be included. So I don't think it's very likely at all. But if they're, it would have to be something like Anthony Davis. It would have to be, someone like that involved.
Yeah.
Someone crazy. LeBron James. Not LeBron James, but you know what I'm
Straight
saying.
up for Steve. No.
You know what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
It would
for
have to
sure.
be
It would
some
have to be a
blockbuster deal.
trade.
Right.
Like, it would be a big deal. All right. Moving on.
Carmelo Anthony. Player grade.
Is that you?
Giving him.
Is that you saying those words?
Yeah, it is.
You're scaring me.
Sorry,
I
bro.
might have nightmares.
Got a little creepy there.
Carmelo Anthony, player grade.
Uh-oh.
This one's rough.
I'm
man.
worried.
I'm going to go C-. You know what? C. I go C.
Oh.
I go C.
We matched.
There's a certain part that I give him credit for, and that is that he is, I think he's trying. I think he's trying to fit in. But I don't know. I do question Carmelo Anthony's mental willpower and mental stability to a certain extent. Well, in a basketball sense.
Yeah.
In a, like, how long can you just continue to keep your eyes on the prize? Focus. How long can you keep your focus? Because really throughout his career, he hasn't really shown the ability to just do what is best all the time.
To
for his
always
team.
choose what's best to win.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like what's best for Carmelo, what's best for the team to win.
And I do think that he's making that effort right now, but I want to it drives me crazy when I notice his laziness on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That drives me insane.
Mm-hmm.
He's averaging a career worst field goal percentage at 42%. His free throw percentage is career worst, 75.4%. That's before tonight where he went 1 for 2. Career worst assists per game, 1.5, and a career worst points per game, 17.6. He's taken more threes than ever before, although he is shooting them pretty well from 3. Lately, he's not been, though.
Yeah.
So that number has dipped, which I think he's somewhere around 35% on the season. It'd be nice if he got up around 37, 38. Fewest turnovers in his career, that'd be because he's not handling the ball.
Yeah.
His usage percentage is the lowest of his career as well.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so I don't know, but I want to see him work harder. That's what I need to see out of him.
For sure. Well, and that's so I gave him a C too. I think especially during that winning streak where everything was kind of clicking, he was making extra passes. He was, playing defense really, really tough, and it was nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his defense is always not going to be very good, but
It's
he
all
was
hands.
It was at least trying.
It's all hands.
Yeah, just swatting people.
Yeah, right.
But I don't know. It does seem like he just takes games off, and it's just like frustrating. It's like, dude,
And
if you just
he
gave
doesn't
like
have
that
the ability
effort
to
at
just
the right time, like
Yeah.
it would be so much easier for you. But
he doesn't have that ability to just turn it on.
yeah,
He
doesn't have the rest switch,
he's
which
not-
no one does. But
But he's not on that level anymore. At one point in his career, he was on that level, but you're not there anymore, man. Like, you have to
have the self-awareness to realize like where you are at that point. I think like to know that whenever you're going to the rim against like Thad Young, he's
Right.
about to block your ass.
Yeah,
Like-
that's something you and
You
I
know what I mean?
talked today. He got the ball in the post. It was the mid post. Batum was defending him. He's backing him down. Now, you would consider that matchup not a mismatch. You would expect Batum to be able to defend Carmelo Anthony, who can't jump at this point in his career. He's not going to be able to get any separation really. So you're going to say, in that situation, I want Carmelo Anthony to pass out and
Yeah.
keep the ball moving.
But did he?
No, he took a shot and he missed it, and it's the most predictable thing on this team right now. Now, if you go to Carmelo Anthony and, for instance, who got Frank Kaminsky?
Yeah, that's
Kaminsky got on him, and he's in an ISO situation. Go to work, Melo.
Yeah, this is your time to
like
shine.
we're for it, and more often than not, he drains the shot.
Giant mouse in the house.
And you'd think he would start to notice these things. He would recognize, be like, okay, and maybe that's on Billy Donovan a little bit too, not figuring out how to establish mismatches and isolation situations for Melo.
Could be.
Because he really can excel in those situations.
Yeah, if you get him that position,
Yeah.
he's making it almost every time.
If there's a white big guy guarding him, he toasts him every single time. He pulls up from mid-range and he puts it in. And so maybe a little bit is on Billy Donovan, but Carmelo Anthony as a 33, 34-year-old guy, whatever he is, been in the league longer than anyone else on the team, or the same length as Nick Collison. People are going to look
That's
up.
so weird.
Yeah, people are going to look up to you, though. People
Yeah.
are going to be looking for advice, and you have to set an example. And it's not our place to say if he has or if he hasn't. We're not in practice. We're not at in the huddles. But
Be cool if we
from
were, though.
from all accounts, it kind of feels like maybe he's not doing that on a night in, night out basis.
Confidence meter.
It's a tough one. This is a tough one, man. I'm gonna go 6.
Oh.
I want to believe, just like I want to believe in Alex Abrinas, man.
Confidence level in Melo going forward. I am going to include playoffs in here,
Yeah, sure.
of course. And I'm going to move him to an 8.
That's too high.
It's too high.
I know it's an opinion, but it's
But it's ridiculous. It's a little ridiculous. I just have faith in him for some reason, and I don't know why.
is it to me? Okay, so like you have faith in him in the come playoff time. You think he'll turn it on?
But I think it's just I mean, I don't have evidence from him being in the playoffs
Right.
and playing well because that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's not like
typically.
Melo's just been in the playoffs every single year of his career
and like done well
yeah.
there.
So that's the scary part.
Yeah.
There, I think.
But I don't know. I mean, there's the whole Olympic Melo thing.
Things slow down in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Shots are harder to come by. Open shots are harder to come by.
And I still have this thing, and we've talked about this a lot, where I'm still buying into this team clicking at some point prior to the playoffs, and it kind of that 6-game win streak that we saw, that thing kind of being what they become.
Right.
I don't know if they're going to actually get there, but that's what I'm
The scary thing is that thing,
really buying into it.
The scary thing is that thing is the OK3 all shooting above 50%.
That's really hard to do.
Yeah, that's not feasible.
So this is ridiculous, but
Likeliness to be traded.
no trade clause, 0%.
No, I'll say 3.
I'm going to go 0 on most of these.
Really? I say 3. I mean, you don't know, like, if it happens, trade deadline's approaching, and he's like, it's just not working. I don't feel happy here. I want to
So-
give you guys a chance. I can opt out of my contract next year wherever I go. I'll just go wherever you need me to go. So it could be something like that. There could be a team that he's willing to go to. Maybe Cleveland still kind of wants him.
Yeah.
And he's willing to waive his no trade clause for them. So I'll say there's a slight chance. I don't think it's very good.
Yeah. I might be too absolute in that one, but I do that sometimes. So moving on.
Terrence Ferguson.
Ooh.
Player grade.
I'm going to give old T Ferg a B-.
Yeah, that's where I go to.
Pretty much. I mean, he's been a little better than I've expected at times. I mean, he's actually gotten minutes, so that's been cool. But he's also played kind of bad because
He's a rookie.
He's a toothpick, and he's a rookie.
He's the 21st pick
Yeah.
rookie. He's 19
And he's
years
getting
old.
starters minutes at times
Right, and
for injury. But
He's being relied on. And that's the scary thing, man. Right now, this team is relying on 2 rookies, in Terrence Ferguson and Josh Eustace. And I know a lot of people are going to say, Josh Eustace isn't a rookie. He's basically a rookie, man. He played 7 total NBA
Yeah.
games coming into this
He's a
season.
rookie.
He's a rookie. Now, that's like saying...
it's like we just got him from the G League.
It's kind of like saying, is Ben Simmons a rookie this year? Well, he's considered a rookie. Obviously, he was in the NBA last year, but he didn't play a game. But he was around an NBA team, so I'm sure there's valuable experience to be learned
Still
from
a
that.
rookie, yeah.
But yeah, he's a rookie on the court. So the Thunder right now are relying on 2 rookies without Andre Robertson. Before we get too into Terrence Ferguson, do you think when Robertson is back, Ferguson loses? Is he out of the rotation, or who's out of the
Kind of
rotation?
feels like it because it almost feels like what Billy's doing is leaving Josh with the bench. Like he's allowing himself to leave Josh with the bench. Otherwise, he'd probably be starting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like Ferguson will kind of lose out his spot and maybe get trash minutes.
Go with
here and
Abrinas for a little longer, give him a chance.
there. Yeah.
One thing you got to give Ferguson for that I like him, that I think is a really good sign going forward, his hustle.
that's the best thing about him.
He plays hard. He hustles. Offensive rebounds. You see, not every game, but you see it here and there. He'll run in there and he back taps something.
Yeah.
He jumps over everyone and taps it and catches everyone by surprise. That's a huge.
Got a steal on Nick Batum today. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
The veteran dude.
Those types of plays as a rookie are super encouraging. When you're
Yeah.
19 years old and you have the confidence to go make a play like that, it's big. Now, he just doesn't have the offensive ability or IQ or anything like that. He's a little too quick to fire up threes.
Yeah.
Now, I think that we're all for, if you're open, you got to shoot the ball, man. You got to shoot it, right?
For sure.
But
if there's a better pass to be made,
he's
make
a
the
little
pass
too
and-
quick sometimes. Do you see him as the future replacement for Robertson in a way that we knew Robertson was the future replacement for Cephalosha when they drafted him?
I think so. Like,
You think that's kind of what the Thunder's thinking
I
here?
definitely don't know if he's. I don't feel like he's ever going to be the defender that Robertson
You
is. 'cause
can't ever
that's-
ask anyone,
That's
though.
it's like generational defender talent.
You can
but-
you can probably bank on him being a better offensive player.
Yeah,
than
for
Robertson.
sure. So yeah, I mean, I think he's going to take that spot. Like he's going to at some point be that 2-guard.
You think
So,
that's kind of the 5-year plan for the Thunder, though? Like
Yeah.
at one point, we can expect to lose Robertson, and we can expect Ferguson to
and then he'll be that place guy. So
Confidence meter.
that being said,
2
you mean like this season?
this season.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's what this is.
I'm with you then.
Hopefully.
I thought yeah,
All
I was
right,
gonna take the confidence meter for him.
I
over
go
his
too.
career,
You
but-
can't trust rookies in the playoffs and going down the stretch when games matter. You really don't want to be relying on a rookie.
Yeah.
I mean, and honestly, a lot of this goes into, well, I hope the Thunder can acquire a player, whether it's a free agent, whether
where
it's
they
through a
don't have
trade,
to.
whether it's a buyout, whatever, to where they don't have to rely on him.
Agreed. So I'm with you on that.
Likeliness to be traded.
You think? I'm gonna go 5.
Ooh, that's pretty high.
I'm just going in the middle of the road. I'm not seeing it as high.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
only 0 to 10.
I was going to
just
say
in the
4.
middle.
You know, he's a guy that I think the Thunder would only dangle out there in a situation where it was a guy they really wanted.
Yeah, and that's like I kind of think that's why I went with what I went with is I don't see him being traded unless there's something lucrative enough and that team really wants him,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yeah, you would think the person coming in return for Ferguson or in a deal that Ferguson was a part of would have to have years on his contract.
yeah,
You know, you're not going to want to get someone in return that is on a 1-year deal. So you're giving away a 19-year-old rookie that's
Yeah, like
shown a little bit of something.
like we got some promise there,
Right, for
You
a
don't wanna
guy
give
that
that
you're
away.
going to probably lose.
Right.
Because, I mean, if you're being real, the Thunder aren't super young like they normally are. I mean, they're pretty young still, but
Not-
a lot of
not
the
like
young
they used to
guys,
be.
they're
Yeah.
set to lose.
Right.
When you talk about Grant, you talk about Hustis. They got Abrinas for 2 years, but he's not that young. What is he, 25, 26? You got Dakari Johnson, who doesn't play. Steven Adams is young, 24. So, yeah, they're not super young. So, I'd go somewhere around a 4 or 5. I'd be interested. If he's included in the trade, it's got to be worth the Thunder's while.
Raymond Felton. Player grade.
I literally just realized that the alphabetical order was screwed up there.
Yeah, you messed it up. I
Told
just
you I
realized it too.
What are you doing with Ray?
I'm going A- for Ray. He's been one of the most consistent players on the Thunder. He has had down games, but he's a backup point guard with somewhat limited minutes, so I think that you can expect that. Now, I love him. I love Raymond Felton. I hope he's...
That boy thick.
I said this last pod. I hope he's a Thunder player for the rest of his effective career.
That'd be pretty cool.
the part of his career where he's an effective player. Because he wants to win.
Yeah.
He knows what it feels like to win, and you can see it. He wants to win. He plays his hardest every single game. And the Thunder have really struggled at the backup point guard position ever since they lost Reggie Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go A- for him.
Yeah, I'll give him an A. I really didn't expect what he's brought. I didn't expect him to be as good as he has been.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I've seen him, with the Clippers in past years, and he's been solid whenever he had to take over Chris Paul's duties or whatever. But I don't know. I feel like he's been a really great leader for this team, especially how young our bench is. Like those guys that, Hustis, Ferguson, those guys. Like, he's been a great leader for them. And
Absolutely.
I think
It's a good point.
You brought up a while back that he's spent time with them individually, like after practice, like he stays and hangs out with them, and I just think it's really awesome. And obviously, he's done an awesome job of leading that unit whenever he's out there with them.
He seems like a good one, like a good combo with Russ too.
Well, and that's actually something I used to not like.
Not necessarily on the court wasn't what I was meaning, but more like this is your first string point guard, this is your second string.
Yeah,
point
he's like
guard.
a good change of pace.
Kinda,
It's
yeah.
different. But I actually have started to like him playing with Russ.
Yeah, it's gotten
something-
better for sure.
I didn't really like it when it first started, but it's gotten better. So.
It has gotten better, but a lot of the reason that it has gotten better is because you can't trust anyone else on that bench, and so you're like, well, it has to be Felton.
Well, then he's the guy.
Here's a couple things on Felton. He's been a low turnover guy for most of his career, really low turnover guy. He's taken care of the ball the best of his entire career this year.
Wow.
He's got the lowest turnover percentage of his entire career. Also, on the bad side, lowest free throw percentage of his entire career.
What the hell is wrong with his team in free throws?
I don't know, and he's getting to the line less than ever. I mean, he's a guy that drives to the hoop a lot, and he's just not. I don't know if he's getting calls or I don't know. I don't know what it is, but he's not getting to the line like he has in the past.
Confidence meter.
Confident.
I go 7.
Yeah.
I feel good about him.
That's a perfect number for him.
Yeah,
He's
he's
like, so look at the first half of the game tonight. He was like over 5, couldn't hit a shot, and I was like, damn, this
Right.
dude is not doing what we need because no one else on the bench can hit a shot. The bench was terrible the first half of the game.
Sure.
It was really bad. So yeah, I mean, I'm confident in him anytime he has the ball, but there's also those times where he kind of tries to do things when he's not making his shot, and it's like,
kind of forces the issue a little
but
bit.
it usually turns around for him. So
And, who knows how much of that is due to the fact that sometimes it feels like the bench is made up of a bunch of scrubs.
yeah.
But, that's also not necessarily an excuse, a valid excuse, because you still have to make the right plays. But I go 7. I mean, I trust this guy. He's one of the most trustworthy players on this team, which
Agreed. Which is
is scary,
probably
man.
not what we
It's
wanted.
scary.
Likeliness to be traded.
This is a tough one here. Like, it's hard to imagine them trading him because he fills such a key role for this team.
Yeah, I think I'll put him at kind of what you were doing earlier, like the 3,
Yeah.
2 or 3.
2 or 3, I'm thinking
Like,
the same.
probably not going to happen, but if the opportunity came around where it's like, well, we could get this big and maybe
we
a,
just
a
have to
different
throw
point
him
guard
in.
or something like
Yeah, I mean,
or you have Daniel Hamilton that you could bring
but
up
that's
for some
then-
games, but
then
he's a
it's
two-way contract. So.
it's another
Super
rookie in
weird.
that situation. Like, why
Probably
would you
don't
want
wanna lean
to
on
do
that at
that?
all.
Raymond Felton's making the minimum. It's not like his salary is going to make a big difference in a trade. I don't see it happening.
All right, this one's going to be fun.
Paul George. Player grade.
I'm going to give Paul George.
Oh no, I feel like it could range.
It's
This
gonna
is
be
the
from an
widest
F
range.
to an A,
yeah,
somewhere in there.
Definitely.
I'm going to give him a B minus, which is maybe a little harsh, but I don't think so. Mostly just because of his inconsistency, right? Like, and I have, first of all, you have to make the asterisk of his defense is beyond incredible and beyond what I thought it was. Like, it's very good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yep.
His three-point shooting is extremely good, but it's his ability to sometimes, like, he kind of disappears getting those shots sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And then anytime he has the ball in his hands to make something happen, it's mostly not going to work out well.
One thing I will say about that, and it's something I've noticed lately, and I'm not trying to be like the biggest Paul George defender on the planet here, but I do.
What are you, like the biggest Paul George defender on the planet?
But I think sometimes when he gets the ball and he starts dribbling, and I just spit, and I think that the rest of the team sits and watches him more than they do when anyone else gets the ball. No one moves. The spacing is terrible. And Russ does that thing where he doesn't know what to do when he doesn't have the ball, and he just kind of like gravitates towards the ball slowly.
He's like, well, it's pulling
Yeah,
me towards
yeah,
it. Like
it's
I
like
can feel
it's-
it calling me. It's my friend. It's
Yeah,
my friend.
I need it. I need it.
Give it
It's
back.
like his drug. That's
Yeah.
Russell's drug. He needs
really
the
is.
basketball. So I do think that that's fair to say. So
Yeah.
I'd like to see him with more opportunities in pick and roll situations where space is provided for Paul George. So that is in his defense. I'd go with a B. He's shooting the three
So we're
ball
pretty close.
43.5%.
It's very good.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Now he can't make a 2-point shot.
He can't. It just blows my mind.
But
And he can't, like, his Euro step is so slow. It's like he's Euro stepping in quicksand. It's very strange to watch. And it
Yeah.
always gets the ball stolen from him. Although I will say his defense is so good that he always steals it right back. So you can't really hold that against him.
He's not great at drawing fouls. He's averaging 4.3 free throw attempts this season per game. Last season, he averaged 5 free throw attempts per game. The season before that, 6.5.
Weird.
Season before that, not counting when he came back for 6 games after he broke his leg gruesomely,
That was a
5.8
bad
per
day.
game. And then before that was 3.5. So since 2013, it went up and then it started to go down. And he's at his lowest number since 2013 in free throw attempts per game.
Refs just don't like him.
And his lowest free throw percentage since then, too.
All right.
Which is kind of consistent. Do you think, I kind of want to hang on Paul George for a second because I want to know do you think the Thunder are using him properly still? Do they need to figure
Not
out?
exactly.
Because like I said earlier, there's 2 games the Thunder are playing here.
Yeah.
You're trying to sell him.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think they could still make him more of a focal point offensively, where they're running more screens for him to get open, running more action, and I would love to see that more. Like it seemed, and that's a thing. When Dre wasn't hurt, it seemed like that was kind of a thing Dre was really good at doing, is helping pin his guy down and doing more of that stuff.
Right.
So.
Confidence meter.
8.
8. Yeah, 7 or 8. I might go 7.
I don't have much more to say on that. I mean,
Wait,
like,
how am I
don't-
going to put Melo at an 8 and give Paul George a 7? That doesn't make any sense.
I think that
I have to give him an 8.
you're a wishful thinker.
I have to give him an 8 just because I gave Carmelo 1.
Yeah, I don't have much to back it up, but I feel like I'm about a 7 or an 8. What did I say? 8?
You said 8. A 8.
I don't know. I feel like he's been in the playoffs most of his career.
Yeah.
I feel good about it.
I feel like, when important games are on the line, he does come through for us. So I'll give him that.
Likeliness to be traded.
Oh, shit.
Tough. I go 4.
4?
I still don't think Presti wants to.
So with Woj coming out and saying that we've basically told everyone we're not trading him, I'm gonna go with a 2. Like I don't think we're gonna trade him. My confidence that he's staying after the season is not a 2, but I don't think we're gonna just get rid of him unless the scenario that I brought up, I think last pod, where we just don't win a game again until the trade deadline.
It would have
in
to
that
be,
case, then you get rid of him.
You have to.
Yeah, because
You
it's
have to.
just not good.
Right.
All right, let's see here.
Jeremy Grant.
Blaze through these a little quick.
Yeah, a little
Player grade.
C plus, B minus.
Yeah, I go B for Grant. I'll give him a
Like
B.
he's been pretty good for most of the year. His 3-point shot has been terrible.
It
Very
has.
bad.
It'd be nice to see him get that going a little bit because you're right. It's been awful. And he doesn't look confident taking it.
No, he's scared as hell of it. He took one tonight and looked good.
Missed it.
He made one. 3 for 3.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, he made it.
He did make it.
He did make it. How's your
Confidence
in him now?
meter.
I'm just already like he's missing it.
Yeah, so confidence in him, maybe a 5.
I go 6. I think last year did a lot for him in the playoffs. He was basically the 6th man.
Yeah, and he has. I mean, he's a lot better at driving into the rim. He's so much better at dunking on people. Which
I think
is incredible, but
he's a guy too that he'll do what you need him to do. You know, he doesn't have to do one thing to be effective.
agreed.
Likeliness to be traded.
This is an interesting one. I'll go 5.
Yeah,
He's an unrestricted free agent after this season, which is scary. So he can resign here if he wants, but I don't see that likely because I think that.
we ain't gonna have.
What do you
any
think?
money.
What do you think his market value is? I mean, how much will he might get 7 to 8 million?
I could see that, but yeah, I mean, above that, it would be
Wouldn't-
very weird if
yeah.
we got more than that.
I wouldn't say that.
But also, we're not gonna have very much money to
No.
give him. Or
Try
any.
0.
We have $0.
Try negative 40 million.
We're so poor. But yeah, I mean, maybe he takes a deal to stay here if he really likes it. But it seems weird for a player like his specific type of player. It seems like he'd go somewhere.
Yeah, if I'm his agent, I'm probably
Yeah.
telling him to go to a worse team and try to get more minutes and play and get better.
Yeah, and then whenever the more you play, you're gonna get a better deal later. All right.
Josh Eustace.
Player grade.
Player grade.
C plus.
C plus. I'll give him a B minus just because I didn't expect anything from him this year. And
Yeah.
them blocks are nice.
He does do that. He's a good defender at times. We talked about him a lot. I wish he could shoot the ball a little bit better. He hit a 3 tonight. Right? Or am I thinking of Grant?
He did.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, he hit one.
He did.
They all hit one.
Yeah, no, I wish he could shoot the ball a little bit better, but he's another case. Thunder declined his option. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent.
We'll see what happens.
His market's not going to be as high as Jeremy Grant's. So the Thunder might actually have a realistic option of hanging on to Josh Huestis.
I don't think so. And they've had some history of like hanging on to him and kind of making his whole career for him, because otherwise he probably wouldn't be in the NBA right
True.
now.
He might be a little partial to Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Confidence meter.
2.
Yep. That's fair.
Likeliness to be traded.
I'll go 5 again.
He's middle of the road, kind of. If they need to include him for money or any of that stuff.
He's a sprinkle guy.
Even though it's very little money. I'm just going to skip Dakari Johnson because he's not important.
Patrick Patterson. Player grade.
D+.
Yep. Maybe a D.
Probably the most.
I think I'm going to knock him down to a D.
Probably outside of Melo, if you want to say Melo, been the most underwhelming player as far as expectations heading into the season go.
Man, and it's like, so, I mean, when he first came here, we thought, here's our starting power forward. Things changed, and he got reduced to a bench role, but that almost seemed like a good thing for us, where it's like, oh, sweet, now he's gonna be able to bomb on some benches.
Right.
Hasn't shot more than, or made more than 4 shots in any game this year.
Yeah,
which
man.
is not what I was expecting.
He hasn't found a rhythm. I feel like the Thunder have no idea how to use him properly.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, whenever he gets the ball, I mean, he immediately tries and passes it.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but
he's not getting the ball, but like he's always in a position where I just got to keep the ball moving instead of like, well, I'm going to make that pass that is actually going to make a difference on this possession.
Right.
Because that pass is typically going to Josh Huestis or Jeremy Grant.
And then they go, huh?
Yeah, it's like,
so what do I do with it?
yeah. They look at coach.
What's this play?
Well, there's 6 seconds on the shot clock, Jeremy.
Figure it out. God damn it. All right.
Confidence meter.
2.
I'll go 5. I don't know what to expect from him. I mean, he's a veteran. He's been around the block a few times, so I would like to think that you can trust in him a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know, man.
I would like, we brought this up when we were talking earlier today, I would like to see him play with the starters a little bit.
Yep.
Even he doesn't have to start, but I would like to see him in that lineup a little bit more. Like when you take Melo out, I would even like to see Melo play with that bench a little bit more like he was in the early season.
Sure.
Play Pat with him.
Likeliness to be traded.
I'm actually going to go a little higher here. I'm going to say a 6. I think the Thunder have had a tough job figuring out how he fits in with this team, and I think a lot of teams, especially contending teams, out there would like a guy like Patrick Patterson on their team. So I think there's a decent likelihood that he gets traded.
I'll see that. I'll go 4. Kyle Singler.
Player grade.
He didn't deserve
0.
the cool voice.
0.
Yeah, 0.
Next.
It's a step grade is just 0. Incomplete. He gets an I.
Confidence meter.
That's a 0.
That's also a 0.
Negative 10.
Likeliness to be traded.
10.
0. No one wants him.
No one wants him but 10. I want him to be traded.
Russell Westbrook.
Just skipping Robertson.
Player grade.
Oh, I did skip Robertson. I'm a piece of shit.
Russell Westbrook player grade. I'll go B.
You're going to go a B?
B.
I'm gonna go an A.
A.
Dude's good, man.
Wow. No, he's been good lately. He started the season terrible, though.
Was bad.
He had a really terrible start to the season.
He was bad.
So I don't think you can ignore that. So I think they have some work to do to work his way into A range for me. He's been awesome lately.
I think because I feel like his ceiling is above an A+. So,
yeah.
he gets a double A or something like that.
To me, and I know, Russell Westbrook is an amazing player, right? He's he's awesome. He's an all-star. He's a top 6, 7 player in this league for sure. I still need him to prove to me that he can make the rest of this team better on a consistent basis. Now, I do think he makes players better a lot, but I want to see him make Paul George better. I want to see him make Carmelo Anthony better. And I think a lot of that, it's not fair to put it all on Russell Westbrook, but I do think that it's on him. Yeah, it's on him.
It is.
Confidence meter.
10.
10. Yes.
10.
10 plus.
I have all the confidence in the world in Russ.
Likeliness to be traded.
0.
All right, Andre Robertson.
Player
I
grade.
didn't make him a thing.
Oh, wow. Disrespectful,
hurt.
man.
He's hurt. He's also like my second favorite player on the team.
Andre Robertson more than any other player in the entire league. No, like he doesn't get the respect that he deserves as far as people get his name wrong. Anthony Robertson. Roberson.
Oh, it drives me nuts.
People forget about him all the time.
I forgot about
It's
him
just
today.
funny. Player grade, A-.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him an A.
Yeah.
Like he started out the very start of the season a little slow, came into form really quickly, and then whenever things started clicking, I felt like a lot of that was because of Andre Robertson. Like his defense has been outlandishly incredible this year.
He's done a good job cutting.
His job of getting the ball to move, setting pin downs for guys. Like his screening has been great this year. I just feel like he really gets what Billy's trying to do, and Billy's figured out how to use him properly with this specific group, and it's been really nice. So
I'm with you.
I'm ready for him to come back.
So ready. He's had a good season. He actually got off to a slow start, if you remember, probably first 5-6 games.
Yeah, right. He didn't look like himself.
Kind of found his place, and he's been good in all facets.
Agreed.
Confidence meter.
9.
Yeah.
Now free throw line.
I'm gonna go 1 at the free throw
Maybe
line.
I should say 7 or 8.
Yeah, I was gonna go an 8 with him
because of the free throws, and that's
that'll hurt
it
you.
though. But I trust him everywhere else.
All right.
Likeliness to be traded.
2.
Yeah. 1.
Don't see it happening.
1 for me.
Yeah, just don't see it happening. He makes about $10 million a season. I don't know who the Thunder would want in return because you've seen how much they've missed him while he's been gone. I just don't see it happening.
Agreed.
Hey guys, that does it for our whatever those was
Whatever them's just
was mid-season
player
grades. We got a sponsor.
We did.
It's really exciting.
It's pretty cool stuff.
Guess what? He's been a listener to the podcast for a long time now. He's an avid listener. His name in this podcast today is brought to you by Jesse Edgar. He's better known as OK Computer Guy. Jesse is stationed right here in Oklahoma City. He's a computer repair guy, does it all, offers computer repair for as low as $40.
It's pretty good, man.
Prices are half of what like services like Geek Squad would offer. You got to check him out.
And they're not terrible like Geek Squad. No offense to them.
He probably
but
doesn't drive
offense.
a slug bug around town.
He doesn't have to wear that tie and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He's also got a 5-star rating on both Google and Facebook with 100+ reviews, which is pretty awesome. Like the best way to judge a company, I think, is through word of mouth. And
sure.
So that's pretty great. He has a 1 to 3 day turnaround time. And the best part, he gives away Thunder tickets on his Facebook page. So go follow him on Facebook for sure. You can win Thunder tickets, or sometimes he gives away computers also.
Yeah, plus, man, it's like cool to help out local businesses, especially if you're from Oklahoma City and you support us. This guy is supporting us right now. You support us. Let's all go support him. If you got something wrong with your computer, go check him out.
Yeah.
His phone number is 405-326-4011. That's 405-326-4011. His website is www.okcomputerguy.com, or Facebook, as Jason was talking about, facebook.com/okcomputerguy. His name is Jesse Edgar. Go check him out, man. He does great work.
Agreed.
Thanks, Jesse. You ready for a game?
I am.
We got some trades, right?
We do.
You have the sounder?
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Not here.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on.
Well, this game is a like it, love it, or hate it trade edition. You guys submitted some trades for us on Twitter, so we're going to read some of those. You want to start with my trades? You want to start with their trades?
Let's start with theirs because they're going to be
Okay.
outlandish, probably.
Let's do it. Well, I tried to include the most realistic ones.
Perfect.
G. Vieira Nascimento at GV Nascimento. This is a trade between the Miami Heat and the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder are sending Alex Abrinas and Jeremy Grant to Miami. This is the bad music to play because it's going to like everything.
Like it all.
And Miami is sending Wayne Ellington and Okaro White to Oklahoma City. So Alex Abrinas and Jeremy Grant for Wayne Ellington and Okaro White. Both of those are on the final year of their contracts.
It was Abrinas and Grant for them.
Yes. Like it, love it, or hate it.
I guess I like it.
You like
Wayne
it?
Ellington's okay. I don't know who the hell that other guy is. Never heard of him.
Yeah. Yeah, don't
No
blame
one
you.
else. But Wayne Ellington's all right. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to move Abrinas. So
I hate it.
you hate it?
I hate it. I think you give away 2 role players for to, I mean, you can maybe say Wayne Ellington's a proven role player, but Okara White's not. So you're already short on role players.
Yeah, and I mean they're both expiring, whereas Abrines has some
Right.
contract left.
That's a scary thing to me. All right, next, Dylan Harris at D Harris 98. Can't add Blake to the trade machine yet. Blake Griffin. But if we keep losing, what about Paul George for Blake straight up? I saw the Clips offered Blake Griffin for Cat. And if they're trying to trade Blake, I've got something for you. Doubt PG leaves LA after such a big deal was made about him wanting to go home.
I like that. If you gotta trade PG and you can get Blake for him, sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Sure.
I agree because you have 4 more years of Blake.
Yeah.
After this year,
he's only going to play 10% of those years.
Sure,
but
that's the scary part. But at least you get him.
But he's here.
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
Totally agree. Shirag Patel at CHP 1215. Kyle Singler, Jeremy Grant.
I like it. No.
Kyle Singler and Jeremy Grant for Buddy Hield. And I think that's lopsided because the Kings won't ever do that. So I'm going to alter his trade a little bit.
Yes, please do.
Let's throw in a first rounder from OKC. So Kyle Singler, Jeremy Grant, and a first rounder from Oklahoma City for Buddy Hield.
That first rounder makes it hard, but I'm still going to love it because I really like the idea of Buddy with this team. It would be nice to have him.
Buddy's like number 6 in the NBA this season in three-point percentage.
Dude's good, man.
Coming off the bench in Sacramento, probably not ideal.
Yeah, definitely not ideal
for
anyone.
The worst team in the NBA, and he's coming off the bench, and he was supposed to be the next Steph Curry. Aaron at Ayount15 is sending Patrick Patterson and Terrence Ferguson to Cleveland for Jay Crowder.
Yeah, I like it.
Patterson, Ferguson for Jay Crowder.
Yeah, I like it.
3 years of Jay Crowder on a bargain of a contract.
They're very much like that. I'm moving to love it. I didn't realize he had 3 years left on that deal.
Crowder's he's had a down year. He's not been very effective with the Cavs.
Damn, dude, that guy's a good player.
Yeah.
He can be so good.
I think he might fit in really well in Oklahoma City. I think I'd do that too. And
very good two-way
player. I could see
player.
Patterson being great in Cleveland for whatever reason.
For sure.
They get another young guy in Terrence Ferguson to pair with that pick that they have.
Would be nice.
Yeah. I like it too. So you like it or you love it?
I love it now. I didn't realize the 3 years for Crowder.
Donnie Hazelwood at D Nasty.
You know what I'm going to say, partner? That's nasty.
The Thunder are sending Ferguson and Abrines. We got a theme here, guys.
A lot of Ferguson and Abrines trades.
For Tyreek Evans, James Ennis, and a Memphis second rounder. That seems like too much from Memphis.
It's far too much for Memphis, but I love the idea of getting Tyreek Evans.
So let's just say...
for those guys. If it was just straight up for Tyreek, I would do it.
Really? Ferguson and Abrines for Tyreek?
Yeah.
1 year Tyreek. He's in his last year. You're not going to be able to re-sign him.
Damn. Why you got to only have 1 year left? I'll just move to
He
it
signed
at
a
that
1 year contract.
It's taking my love away.
You'd still do it?
Probably so.
Really?
I think Tyreek...
That's really going all in this year.
I think Tyreek... We're already all in, bro.
This is extremely all in.
We're in.
This is like, I'm not sure we're going to have enough guys to make a basketball team.
We're not even going to have a team next year, but...
Bradley Evans at OKC Brad Evans. He's sending Alex Abrines, Kyle Singler, and Josh Hustis to Denver for Wilson Chandler. Alex Abrines, Josh Hustis, and Kyle Singler for Wilson Chandler.
That's so many people.
Wilson Chandler's got 2 years left on this deal. He makes $12 million a year.
But I like it.
I hate it.
You do?
Yeah.
Just because you hate Wilson
Chandler hasn't had a very good year, and he's old.
He's always hurt.
You're just getting your team older. He gets hurt
and
a lot.
You're losing 3 people for 1 again when we keep doing that.
Yeah.
We're not going to have any people left.
That's the scary
I love
part.
arguing against my own points. It's fun.
Codeman at Fitzmagic15. He's sending Patrick Patterson and Terrence Ferguson for Nerlens Noel. Nerlens Noel's on the last year of his deal. He's making $4 million, but he's going to be a restricted free agent. Wait, no, he's not.
No.
He's going to be unrestricted.
Yeah, love it. Bring him back. He ain't got no money.
That's not a good thing.
He ain't got no money.
He's going to be unrestricted. Yeah, so Patterson, Ferguson for Nerlens Noel.
I forgot about Ferguson being in there.
It's tough.
That's a hard one.
You get that backup center you need.
But
Mavs.
just for a couple months.
Yeah, probably. Unless his market's just gone down a little bit. Yeah.
Which no one's going to have money next year, so it's probably going to go down.
What do you think? I need an answer.
I'm going to like it.
Okay.
I didn't really hate any of those. It's weird.
What about this? Now we're into mine. Alex Abrines and Jeremy Grant for Avery Bradley.
Love it.
Really?
Yeah, I love Avery Bradley.
What if you throw in a first-round pick.
No.
Avery Bradley's on
Come
the
on, bro.
last year of his deal.
Oh my God,
He's basically making $9 million.
you keep making these so much worse all of a sudden.
Well, they have to be tough. They got to be tough decisions, man.
I feel like the first rounder and him being on the last year makes it really difficult to like it.
Yeah.
Shut up, song.
All right, Patrick Patterson and Kyle Singler for Al Jefferson.
I don't really like Al Jefferson.
Yeah, he's
anymore.
basically
I'm
an
gonna
old
hate that.
canter.
I'm gonna hate that.
All right, I like that too. I
Yeah.
like that you hate it.
Yeah.
Patrick Patterson, straight up for Lance Stevenson. Lance Stevenson's on the last year of his deal. Well, he's got a team option next season, $4.2 million. Pacers could use a power forward. Maybe looking to get a guy like Lance Stevenson off the team.
I'm gonna hate it. You know why? Because Lance Stevenson doesn't play well for any team outside of the Pacers.
Yeah.
It's some weird phenomenon.
Yeah.
He cannot play well. He doesn't know how to play basketball outside of
You know what?
that arena.
I love it.
I know you do.
You
but
bring in Lance, who's
it's
played
gonna be
with
blowing
Paul
in
George.
people's ears.
Played with Paul George before. Paul George likes him. Maybe you build a little extra chemistry. You get a little craziness, a little edge off your bench.
It's something different. That's
Something
for sure.
off your bench. I don't know. I think I'd do it. Alex Abrinas, straight up for Dwayne Dedman. Backup center.
Weird, but sure. Yeah, I like it.
Hey, he makes $6 million. I think he's a pretty good backup center.
Yeah, came from the Spurs.
Here's another idea. Patrick Patterson, Dakari Johnson, and a second-round pick for Jonathan Simmons.
I like that. I really like Simmons.
I wonder what the people out there think. Let me know what you think about these.
Yeah. How you guys feel about
Chirag
Simmons?
Patel does. He says OKC doesn't have a first round to give away for a while. Correct. They don't have this one. It'd have to be down the road.
Yeah,
But
right.
they have one to trade down the road. I'm not sure exactly which year it would be, but
2074?
last one. Alex Abrinas plus a future first round pick, and let's throw a second round pick in there too for Will Barton. But Will Barton's on the last year of his deal, $3.5 million.
I really like Will Barton though.
He'd be huge for this team.
Huge. I like it.
You just liked everyone. That wasn't like
middle of the road. No, I like Will Barton though. Bring him in. Panther Fan 13 asked, "Do you think?" And best NBA mixes of all time also kind of asked the same question. Do you think OKC will give up a second rounder for Marco Bellinelli?
Yeah, sure.
I'd be totally for that.
Yeah, I
I'd
think
love
they'd
that.
definitely give up a second rounder.
I'd give up a second rounder and Abrinas for Marco.
Definitely.
I love that.
What else? Did you have something else?
Well, Chirag Patel, you brought him up. He asked if Pat was overhyped or if the Melo trade devalued Pat. How do you feel about that?
Maybe both.
Both.
Maybe both. Let's run through these Twitter questions real quick.
Let's do it.
We have a few. Let's just bust them out. What do you say? Tweet, tweet, tweet. There it is.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
There it is.
T at Drinking Tea. Top 5 most annoying faces in the NBA. His are Nurkic, Kaminsky, and Plumlee. That's only 3.
Which Plumlee? Or is that all three
Maybe he
Plumlees?
meant all 3 Plumlees
Yeah,
and
that'd
the other
make
2.
5.
That's 5.
That'd make 5.
That's perfect.
Nurkic is a good one.
Nurkic's
Kaminsky,
great.
he's just unfortunate, so I can't say it's annoying. Now, you know one that's got to be in there? Bogut.
Oh, yeah.
Such a punchable face.
Yeah, very punchable.
Barea?
Oh, God, I hate that guy.
JJ Barea.
Ooh.
It's always going to be annoying white people.
Who's the dude from Orlando? The slick back hair.
Fournier?
Fournier.
Yep.
Very punchable
That'll
face.
be up there.
Draymond?
I'm trying to think of a non-white person that could... Draymond. That's a good one.
Draymond's perfect.
Yeah. Because they're always
Non-white.
going to be ugly white people. Who else?
So what we got?
That's probably 4 or 5, right?
I don't remember what we said.
Kyle
there.
Singler would be up there.
Singler's definitely in there.
Yeah.
Throw him in. Rondo? Did you put him in there?
Oh, no. I like the way Rondo looks. I think he's
kind
handsome.
of like an alien.
I think he's pretty handsome.
All right, we kind of did it. Gerard White at Gerard KW13. Compare this season to a Bill Murray movie. Not really a question, but who cares? Well, you got like Caddyshack. You got
What-
Stripes.
What did I say earlier? Lost in Translation.
Yeah, no, that one's perfect.
Yeah,
That's
because
perfect.
the new guys come over trying to figure it out. They just can't. They're
Yeah.
lost.
Maybe Groundhog Day. Just keep saying Shades of November.
Definitely
Every
not
game.
Space Jam.
It's not Space Jam.
Yeah, not that.
That's for damn sure.
Next.
All right, Zach Weber 33 at Z Avalanche 33. I don't know if you noticed, but he has a 33 in his name. What are some realistic targets for the Thunder in buyout season? Assuming
Still play
he just,
because we could maybe get.
he got traded to Portland and then just never played.
Never played for
Ever.
them. Never played for them.
Is he like one of
He
that?
signed with them. He didn't get traded. He signed with them.
Is
As
he
a
like
free
that
agent.
Sanders dude in Milwaukee that was just like,
Larry
I'm
Sanders?
just gonna smoke weed. Don't want to really play basketball, bro.
Could get him.
I like that.
It's better than Dakari.
All right, Drinking Tea asked, did you guys notice Del Curry being a dick today? Didn't listen to that broadcast.
Yeah,
so,
we were watching the Thunder broadcast, man.
Didn't. We were listening to Michael Cage talk about mouses and houses.
Oh my God.
Mises and houses. John Waller at John Waller 94. Is Kenneth Faried a possible target at the deadline?
He would be more of a buyout target, I
Yep.
would say. He makes about $12 to $13 million a year, so I don't think that the Thunder are willing to pay another power forward that price. But I think as a buyout option, you could maybe play him at center a little bit.
Rob just chimed in.
Why isn't he here?
I don't know. Most annoying face. He says Boban. Bogdanovich or whatever. That
No.
dude, the orc?
He just
Like
looks
the
like he's from
massive
a...
giant person.
Who's the guy that writes like the Nightmare... what's the cartoon
Nightmare
movie?
Before Christmas?
Yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas. Who's that
Oh,
guy?
that weird guy?
Yeah, who makes those movies?
Can't think of his name. Blanking.
Tim Burton.
Tim, that's it.
He looks like a Tim Burton character.
But a giant. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Boban.
Yes. From YouTube Live, we got a couple questions. The Whitetail 178, is OKC's bench still a problem? Not after tonight, baby.
Yeah, no, it's still a problem.
But it's definitely
It's still a problem. Like they need another piece. They need another reliable piece. I can't continue to stress, man.
They gotta get
Raymond Felton as your reliable piece is not going to get it done.
It's not good.
That's why I'm almost to the point where I'm like, I wouldn't mind seeing Carmelo come off the bench. I wouldn't mind just trying it.
It's getting there.
Yep.
I mean, we talked about it. Kevin Aitken, also from YouTube Live. Do the Thunder play better in one jersey more than the others? Hashtag jersey conspiracy.
I don't
This
think
year,
so.
this year it definitely hasn't seemed like that. I mean, in years past where they had those dark navy blue alternatives,
Yeah.
they definitely played terrible in those. This year in the statement jerseys, they've played kind of even, it seems like.
I
And
think everything has been pretty even, right?
yeah.
I feel like if I had to pick one that they played best in, is the home whites, the traditional home whites.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I'm sorry about that hiccup.
I don't forgive you, actually. Which
Do we have any more?
Yes, we do. All right. Kyle Van Dyke at Bandito 1986. Why is the Thunder bench in the peak on what seems to be the away side in every other arena?
I haven't noticed that. That's interesting. I don't know that.
I feel like I need to watch for that now because I've never paid attention to such
Well,
things.
we will credit Kyle if we notice that, and I'm
Agreed.
sure that he's onto something here.
Good looking out, though.
That's interesting.
Todd Lytle at Toddboy23. Are Peachy and Mello disappointed that we won? Please get me out of this mindset. That's how I see them right now.
Oh, man, I hope you're wrong.
That'd be really weird if they were upset. If they were like, "Damn, we got that win."
It seems crazy to think that like Melo would waive his no trade clause to go somewhere in hopes that he was going to lose.
Yeah.
You know, so that
Yeah.
I think that debunks that right
Get
there.
out of that mindset, bro.
But
gonna
Paul
get you out.
George, you know, I don't know if anyone of us can figure out what the hell he's thinking going forward.
No one knows. He's like a damn enigma.
He's like that Queens of the Stone Age song. No one knows.
Taylor Peterson at Taylor. That's Taylor with an E. What do you guys think of letting PG bringing the ball down some? Feel like it could help get him more involved and could give the Thunder more play options to get him or keep him going, and could even open up different options for Russ being off the ball. I'm going to add this part, if Russ would move when he's off the ball.
I think that's the issue there.
Yeah.
The Thunder have had a real issue with Russ off the ball. Like he doesn't know how to play off the ball, and
Couldn't do a damn thing.
it's something he needs to get better at. It's on Russ. It's on Russ. And on Billy a little bit too. You got to get him to be better off the ball and to help this team. But as far as PG getting the ball in his hands more, if that's what makes him happy. Is if he feels like he can be effective, and if the team can be effective doing it, I'm all for it. But the fact is, the Thunder were playing their best ball when Russ was in control of things.
Right.
And, you know, teams make adjustments. You can't just play the same way every single
And PG might take more than 8 seconds to get down the court when he's dribbling behind his back the whole way down there. You know?
Brutal.
Notes!
All right. Per someone. Can't remember who. I want to say it was Eric Horn. It was one of the Thunder guys.
That's my favorite thing to do.
Brett-
Per random man.
Eric Horn, Brett Dawson, Fred Katz, one of them. Carmelo Anthony practices with his socks and his shorts inside out. Oh, you know what? Who
See
was
my
it?
face right now? It's very confused. His
thought-
shorts are inside out.
I thought the socks was the weirder one. I don't know why.
Both of them are pretty strange.
Yeah, cancel each other out. The second edition of the NBA All-Star voting returns have Russell Westbrook fourth in the West behind Curry, Durant, and Harden.
You guys need to step it up.
What a brutal list that is, you know.
We need to vote more.
Two-thirds of those were on the Thunder one.
Shh.
Paul George is 10th. Carmelo Anthony is 12th. Still, I don't understand like what matters if you're not first. You're last on this year's All-Star thing.
I don't understand how this year's All-Star voting works still, which is absurd.
We should have looked that up when we said we were going to. Deion Waiters is having, or had by now, season-ending surgery.
To his ankle.
Bummer for him. And I know he had a clause in his contract where if he played a certain amount of games, he got a bonus, and he's not going to be getting that bonus.
No.
Shea Serrano, we've had him on the pod before. If you're a new listener and didn't hear it,
Author of Basketball and Other Things, as well as many amazing articles on The Ringer.
he's a #1 New York Times best-selling author. He's going to be in Oklahoma City on March 17th for a book signing. He'll be at the library downtown. We're going to check it out. You guys can come up there, hang out with us, meet him, hopefully, get your book signed. Tweet at him, and we'll try to get him on the podcast again.
Yeah.
And maybe just talk to him a little bit. It'll be fun.
Hopefully. It'd be cool.
LeBron James was called for stepping out of bounds against the Indiana Pacers in a similar fashion to what Giannis Antetokounmpo did in OKC, which led to a Cavs loss. LeBron, after the game, tweeted, quote, "Definitely stepped out by a tiny bit after seeing it over again. Great call. Needed to be in OKC on that drive.
Oh!
LOL."
I didn't see that. I like
quote.
that.
Yeah.
Good job, LeBron.
It hurt.
Hey, maybe he should come here. I don't know.
Paul George broke a Thunder record by hitting at least 3 threes in 8 consecutive games. That streak was broken against the Timberwolves on Wednesday. Guy can shoot threes.
He can shoot
We
the ball.
know that. Paul George and Russell Westbrook are currently on pace to finish #1 and #2 in steals since the stat became official
That firsties?
in 1973. It'd be the second time it ever happened. Cool thing, though. Russell Westbrook will be at Barnes & Noble on May Avenue in Oklahoma City from 4 to 6 p.m. on Sunday, which is tomorrow, or today, if you're listening on Sunday, signing copies of his book. So go check that
Style
out.
Drivers, right?
Right by my house, literally right over
It's
there.
right over there.
Right over there. So, yeah, go check it out. Maybe you'll see us up there. Probably not.
But maybe not.
I'm not going to go in that madhouse. You kidding me?
It's cold out there.
All right,
you know?
up next on Monday, Thunder face the Kings at home. Their own 1 versus Kings this year. You guys probably remember that early in the season. Terrible loss. Wednesday, Lakers come to town. Thunder whooped the Lakers, last week, 2 weeks ago?
They stomped him.
By like 37 points. Then Saturday, Thunder get a couple days off before they head to Cleveland in a big matchup during a day game in prime time Saturday. Our Hero or Zero has reset. Rob lost. So now Rob has a loss, Jacob has a loss, and I have a loss. Everyone's back to 5 points. What do you got this week, Jason?
2-1.
2-1. Kings, Lakers, Cleveland. You're going 2-1.
Cleveland's the loss.
I'm with
obviously.
you. 2-1. That seems like the easy answer, right?
Well, come on, bro. Don't just discount my answer just because it's easy.
Still though. Thanks for listening. Follow us on Twitter at OKC Thunderheads. Subscribe on YouTube. Yeah, we're on YouTube right now. If you watch us live on YouTube, we really appreciate it.
Thanks.
And if you didn't, just know you can catch all of our pods live on YouTube, or you can watch them after the fact. That's cool too. Also, subscribe on iTunes. Leave us a 5-star review. Helps us out a lot. Find us on Facebook, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher, Overcast,
Spotify.
which I always forget to say.
forget, but we are there.
Everything. Yeah.
It's super convenient.
It's probably
'cause
the
you
best.
already have it.
Right, it's probably the
Probably.
best way. Yeah. So also www. I don't know who said.
W?
Why say www? Right.
That's not important anymore.
OKCThunderheads.com. Pod days next week, Thursday and Saturday, right after the Cleveland game. Very similar to what we did tonight. We'll catch you guys then. Special thanks to OK Computer Guy for sponsoring the pod today. Till then, till Thursday, and as always, Thunder up.